Okay, welcome. Week 2, demo time. We are building the Holistic Health Hub with the Human Array. Last week, we talked about the vision and the process. We showed you the very, very rough purple vision and the beginning of the first version. So today, what I wanted to show you a bit of the next continued development and a little bit of sort of the process of going from the beautiful design to the actual code a bit. Will be a little bit geeky, but at least you'll get to see what's going on. So with all that said and done, I will show you the current version of the Holistic Health Hub. So this is the Holistic Health Hub today. So now we are also embedding the homepage of the Human Array into the Holistic Health Hub. And that is where you already see where you can be creating your hub and sharing your directory. We've already started putting in the homepage elements and designing it. Here's where your daily dose is. This will connect to an actual blog post, but we haven't connected that yet. That's for this week's adventure. Our lovely video of Miss Carrie explaining the vision behind the Human Array. And if you haven't watched it, you totally should. It's amazing. And feature catalyst, you can see we've got our bookmarking, and then this will be added to your hubs as you bookmark both different catalysts as well as different content. You could join the directory, and then you can host your content or your community with us. And it goes on. And from there, we have the directory itself, where we still have some featured profiles. We've started improving the profile pages. You can see that we've started blending in your photos and your stories coming into play so that we can really highlight what you do and how you show up. Next step is to add any kind of tools that you may have, your content, your programs, things like that is going to also be shown on this page. And that's the next level that we want to evolve. The daily dose will be here. And here, so this will just be a feed of your daily dose. And then we have your hub. And within your hub today, we are starting to look at how this is being built up. So of course we've got the deeper dive of more content, and we're trying to figure out, does this stay in your hub? Does this move into the directory? All of these things are very fluid and moving around. And what you're really seeing is the raw insides of the development process. So what we do know we'll have is we will have a feed of all the content made by Catalyst, not only of the Human Array and the Wellbeing Concierge. This will be visible and free to anyone who shows up on the page. And we're trying to figure out where that sits within here. Is it in the daily dose? And this just becomes the feed. Is it only available in something called a feed? And then the feed is personalized as you log in and you start bookmarking things. And then we will be building our own algorithm that just shows you the things that you're most interested in based on your bookmarking preferences and things like that. It'd be nice if maybe we can also clear the algorithm completely so you just see everything live. So you can say personalize for myself, things like that. And see, it says you don't have any bookmarked content yet. Even though I bookmarked some, we don't have the logins featured yet. But you can see that this is where the content is going to start being developed. If you click join the directory, we already have this page live. And if you're not a practitioner, we have already added a place where you can refer one so that even people who are in here we can start building and collecting the best of everything from around the well-being space. This is really what the collaborative aspect of what we're building is all about. So this is kind of the current state of things right now. We've started to add a little bit of a who are we? This is back to the homepage. So there's just lots of little bits being added and built up. You can see that it's moving from just a directory into sort of a living, breathing site with the dynamic content within it, one of the next steps is adding content in. So that's right now what we have is we have the backend database is built, but we're just using them as like pretend data still. So we don't have to worry about the data protection and all those sort of things. We're now going to start moving into adding real data. So really pulling in the practitioners directly from Mighty Network. So our objective is not to make you refill the forms, but to be able to pull in your story, your knowledge, your content, and everything from whatever you've already added into the Mighty Network and pull it into the directory. I think, I don't know, maybe Carrie could speak to this. We haven't really gone through like how that approval process will work, or like not really approval, but more like we're going to pull a bunch of stuff in. It's probably nice if you guys give us an okay thumbs up before we push it live to the site, things like that. So these are the stages that we're in. Right now, we're going to start with content built by the human array and the well-being concierge. This will allow us to sort of prototype the content creation process, work out the kinks of adding articles, adding blogs, adding short form posts, adding podcasts, adding videos, and all those elements. How do we make a live event? Doing all those things. We want to break it first before we give it to you guys, and then you can break it even more, because I'm pretty sure you'll break it even more. But that's our job, is to fix it and to figure it out as we go. So this is kind of the next step. Any questions at this point? Thoughts? You know where to find us. I think the only thing I want to show you a bit is if you really, so what we've been showing you with Lovable is the AI generated site. So what we're doing is we're doing vibe coding using an AI prompt thing that then builds the code. And as we mentioned last week, in order to prevent security holes and that kind of stuff, we're going to be rebuilding that live based on the database and the data that we have. But it's really easy to spin up initial designs, which our design expert, Jeanette, has been doing an amazing job. This is not my work. This is Jeanette's beautiful vision that she's doing. I just get to make it come to life. But I wanted to give you a sneak peek of like what it looks like when you actually are building up the site. So right now, I've just created some databases and I said, build me a page. I'm just making some cards for the directory. And this is our very circa 1990s directory style that we've got going right now. And this is what the live site actually looks like right now, not the beautiful version. So just to give you a feel of what it is and how it develops on the back end, I figured it's fun to share. Also, you might have seen it's a little sneaky bit that Jeanette already added. I will show you. Give me half a moment. If you go to your hub, there's a little connect with your well-being concierge. If you click that right now, it opens up into a form, but we also want to embed a direct chat in here so that you don't have to submit a form, but once you're logged in, you're connected to our team via the chat window, and you can continue your concierge conversation directly from here. And it would be really fun if we could start to also pull in not only your concierge, but also if you want to be connected to the practitioner that you're currently working with and those sort of elements. So lots of little bits starting to materialize all over. It's like Easter eggs.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. I love it.
So that's it for today.
Woo.
See you next then.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so we had some questions about catalysts and other things, and we were going through the back end, and I thought it doesn't hurt to show more. So here you go. So here we've got, let's look at Joe as an example. So we've got their buttons and their links here and their profile. So if you want to go to the directory, what we have here is we have a catalyst directory. And inside the catalyst directory, you have their ID and you have their name and their title and their story. So all of this is stored directly in the directory. And way at the end over here somewhere will just be the state. So state, country, text. Somewhere in here, there's a true, like, is a product true or false? And so those stars on other directory things are just true and false, as is the approval for can go live, I think is going to be a good approval button as well. And so it's just going to be as easy as changing these conditions on enabling somebody from one state to another. And because we are designing this ourselves and we're connecting the imagery directly to the database, this button, you change that button and automatically this page will rebuild and remove that button and the profile link.
Okay. Cool.
If you decide to add another link for TikTok, for example, the button will just be here without having to do anything. It'll just render.
Oh.
That's the way that this should work, is that you update information and it automatically updates. One of the cool things we were playing with the daily dose was, for example, this top image is not actually an image. It's a rendering, and it can just now pull these words. So when we put neck 101 or we put back pain 101,
Yeah.
we could just pull these directly from the directory, and it saves us the time of having to make custom images for every one. It'll just create this image automatically.
Automatically.
Automatically is what we're going for here. So,
Yeah. I love that. Okay, cool. Yeah, because what we were talking through is how the directory will be built is that there will be some people who choose to just have this card here on the front, which is the free option to be listed in the directory. So you can be found and you can be searched, etc. And for those that upgrade to have a premium profile page, which is what we showed for Joe before, or these buttons to profile pages, that's what, as a practitioner or catalyst in the community today, lives in Mighty Networks, and that we're migrating over here to the new version of the hub. And so this content will be populated, one, with what you've already created in Mighty Networks if you're an existing practitioner. But as you come in, and if you're a new practitioner, you would submit your form to get your card. And if you choose to upgrade to this beautiful experience of a custom personalized profile space, what could could be your website, quite frankly, then this is kind of what is part of that upgrade experience to have more content living in the hub.
exactly. And that's one of the big conversations we want to be having with practitioners right now is what goes on this page. So we have a vision of your story and your feed and your links, your content, your programs, your live events. What else do you need? Like, what does your business need? Like, we were talking to one practitioner who builds almost all their content in text. Then I jumped on another call the week after, and I was talking to a practitioner who has almost no content and does just events. And I was like, okay, these feel like very different experiences. Let's make sure the hub is designed flexible enough to support both of those use cases and users.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's really cool about what you showed in the database, because that's what makes it flexible and customizable, that it's kind of switches just on and off, and those things can pull in and be updated consistently and regularly as you continue to flex and grow and evolve in your business, that you can turn something off and turn something on with pretty easy mechanisms eventually.
And that's exactly what we want to be building with the Catalyst dashboard, is that you create your content and then you could see it and then you can turn it on and off. You can feature it. Like maybe you made the world's best post, but you only want to do it when you're launching your event 3 times a year. That content is still there. You don't have to recreate it. You don't have to re-stick it someplace else. You just turn it back on and boom. You turn it back on and you click featured and it'll rise to the surface of your content engine, of your profile page. Maybe it will pull it back into the feed on the human array. So it's showing up in the public directory again, because you said make it active, make it visible. And what would it look like if your body of knowledge was always there and you could just turn things on and off depending on what you need at this moment of your business, whether it's a launching season or it's just personal bandwidth, you can turn things on and off.
Yeah. Yeah. And my brain is already 6 to 8 months in the future, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till we have that conversation too. That flexibility and that modular ability is really what's going to enable so much additional flexibility customization, personalization as we progressed on this path. So I'm not going to jump into the future, but I just wanted to emphasize that building it that way is really important for what will continue to emerge and grow as we go.
And that's something that we're really looking at, like the content design, like make a blog page. Well, you don't want it to look like a 1990s blog page with words and then image and then words and then image. You want the modern dynamic elements of it, but you want to make it flexible and templatey enough that like you don't have to design it all the time, but the building blocks are always there for somebody who writes really long articles or really short articles. Like these are the fun elements that we are playing with, so you don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. You just write the thing and choose the thing and done. Rather
Yeah,
than-
like pick like my 4 images or pick my video embed, like do the thing and then we make it go poof. Add your
Yes.
RSS feed,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yes.
and that's part of the fun of working here too, is getting to do all that and have the conversations with you guys about like what you want and how you want it to show up. And oh, please no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're building our own software and our own, like, makes it so that we're not locked in. We don't have to beg for this feature or that feature. Like we could just spin it up.
Yeah.
And the architecture we're designing enables us to do that without having to do a lot of heavy lifting or redesign. We're trying to design it as simple and streamlined as possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Intuitively, right?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Love it. Yay. Thank you for answering my questions and for going a little bit deeper because I think that's the cool part about what's emerging here. So,